This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, guess the rom-com anime.
He keeps finding this out and has to keep everyone's secrets. And he's the absolute worst at that.
Just the worst. Kenny embraces the troll life.
Why will nobody fight me in the comments?
You're not in the comments enough. You have to sit there like a troll under the bridge.
I must find a bridge.
And we discuss Haruhi's messy viewing order.
Because you're not just watching them out of order, you're watching them in 3-minute parts out of order.
This is the ultimate remix.
This is the true order.
Tetsuo! Kaneda!
It's over 9,000!
Nani?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa and welcome. You're tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive in the world of anime, manga, and all things otaku culture where we can. I'm Kyle. With me is Tifa over on remote and Kenny. And of course, we have our wonderful special guest, Soy Sauce Fish Chan, who apparently appeared on the desk. I don't know why.
He was part of lunch.
A very tasty lunch, evidently.
It was a good lunch.
I'm okay with that. Anyway, with that stupidity out of the way, this episode, it's been 15... You okay? You saved your fish? It's been 15 years since the traumatic event that was... Are you serious? Endless 8. For those listening, Ken just decided he wanted to drink the soy sauce. Anyway, it's been 15 years since the traumatic experience that was Haruhi Suzumiya's Endless 8 saga. There's a lot around this that... it's quite interesting. But for those who aren't aware of it, Haruhi Suzumiya, the series, it's based on some light novels. And one of the stories is Endless 8, where basically summer never ends. And it's told over 8 short sections of a story. Less than 100 pages, actually.
Right, really? Yeah.
In the light novel.
Yeah, it's basically a short story.
Yep. And it's about how summer never ends. And this, instead of being adapted to 1 episode, was adapted to 8 episodes that were almost identical. Because they caught in a time
any
loop.
warning at all, by the way. Like, all people that had read the light novel knew was that this event does happen. A sort of a Groundhog Day repeating cycle. And so people are like, okay, so that'd be like 1 or 2 episodes, right?
No. Tifa, did you watch it when it was coming out? Back in the early 2000s?
When it was coming out.
Would have been a bit young.
I was a big fan of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and then but I watched that a little later in life.
That's
fair. I mean, the series also had done other unusual things, like it was aired non-sequentially, so the order was all messed up.
Oh, I found some stories about that as well. Each time it has gone to air as sort of a re-release in Japan, it has been out of order. But in a different out of order each time.
Well, there's 3 orders it can go in.
I actually tried doing some research into this. I asked around about, okay, so is there a correct out of order? And I started arguments.
Well, this is the thing, because it was when they aired the second part, they re-aired the first part as well. So they then remixed them again into a different order.
Oh, no. See, that's the thing. Every sort of like Haruhi community has their own preferred viewing order.
Yeah,
there isn't a master order like the one that it was first played in and the actual alleged order.
And then the Blu-ray order, and then the DVD order.
All allegedly wrong as far as some groups' opinion is concerned. And they are ravenous about this. They are extremely protective of their master timeline.
Hey, fun fact, you're all wrong. It's sequential order in order of date that the events actually happen.
No.
Yes.
No.
Anyway,
because
if you are new to
that puts their movie first, and that's terrible.
No, the movie... No, sequential order is in, like, order of the time in the actual story. So, like, the first... the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which is part 1 to 5, that should be first. And then the movie.
But do parts of season 2 happen in season 1?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So you've
Welcome to hell.
Sorry, chronological order is the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to watch it in chronological order. People can say that it's best to watch it in the other order. No, because that's just being difficult. That's telling people you're going to have to watch it again. So don't. Like,
I mean, I did.
There's so much anime to watch. We don't have time for this.
I did actually see some very interesting cases being put forward about it, like how, like, if watched in the like correct order according to Keon, the main character, if watched in his version of events, the story is extremely disjointed and the ending kind of doesn't make much sense. Whereas if it's watched in a certain order where like all of the actual sort of like crazy magical events transpire towards the end, then it's like he's being convinced of it over time, and then he's being like given like the evidence for it. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his order is still the correct order because the way their story runs makes sense because then he understands what's going on. The way he says it is the order the light novels were published.
This is turning into a theory channel.
And anyway, we'll get to this later.
Sorry, Tifa.
Anyway, if you are new to the podcast, welcome. Sorry. Hello to all our regular listeners. Hope you've been all doing well. We're on YouTube. If you're watching us there, hello. And if you enjoy what we're doing, Patreon. You can get extras, bonuses. We did a bonus episode on the dirty side of Gainax, I think we could put it as, which is a Patreon exclusive $1 a month.
Yeah, it turns out that
Pretty cheesy.
Gainax didn't get all its money from anime. It got it from naughty things.
The bounce.
Just like Nintendo.
You can also, if you join the Patreon, you can also vote on episode topics such as the annual Halloween episode, which is coming up soon, and the White Day episodes, which is the counterpoint to our Valentine's Day episodes. So that's going to be fun. Details all in the details in the details. Details in the episode description.
See the bit with the details?
Down there. Anyway, let's start off with what we've been watching.
I have no idea how old I am or where I came from.
Nani? Ohio.
Hang time! I gotta go!
I have to know. Hooray! I did that thing.
Oni-chan, nani wo miru? What we're watching.
Boom, boom.
Bum, bum. I don't know why. Tifa, why people punching?
Well,
She's been watching Mayonaka Punch, which is airing this season.
Why did she
Yes.
punch?
It's pretty good.
so this series starts off, and the way it starts off is like my favorite thing. It starts off with a YouTube apology video. So you already know that this is going to be a good comedy about like content creators and influencers, but there is a supernatural twist to it as well. But basically the main character, Misaki, I think her name is, she's in a bit of trouble for being a bit violent. And so the group that she was making YouTube videos with releases an apology video, and she is not in the video. She's been kicked out of the group. They all live together, by the way, which is even funnier because content creator house.
Cringe.
So she's been kicked out, and we already know, as we've talked about previously, how like insane people on the internet can be, especially when someone is cancelled. No matter what it is. And so like people are like really, really mad at her. And this is the only thing she's ever known because you can make money off of YouTube. It's called YouTube in this instead of YouTube. So of course there is like something else. But she tries to make her own channel and everyone just bullies her relentlessly because, you know, she got cancelled and nobody wants to see that. But it becomes a trending topic because, you know, cancelled YouTuber tries to make her own channel. Anyway,
It's
she's
like the original channel was her idea as well.
I see.
yeah, and it was an idea from when they were in high school, and then they continued it on until like kind of now, basically. And then there's another character called Live or Live or Live, however you want to say it. And she is a vampire. She wakes up from a 20-year slumber, and she had a dream about a girl who was was like, yeah, you can drink all of my blood. And so when she wakes up, which was right before that part, right before the good bit, she wakes up and she's trying to find where this girl is because she feels like this girl is going to have the tastiest blood ever. Anyway, so the main character, Misaki, the first video that they did as a group was one of those like go to an abandoned hospital type videos. So she decides she wants to try and do that again because maybe she'll have success, maybe it will like trigger something for her and she can make good content again. She goes there by herself, just super dangerous, and everyone's like super mean to her, so if she realizes if she died or something bad happened here, then no one would actually care, like what is she gonna do? And she stumbles upon the vampire. The vampire that wants to suck her blood. And they eventually come to a deal that they'll make YouTube videos together.
It's just like, if you get me to 1 million YouTube video subscribers, I will let you suck my blood.
Yeah. And so they start doing really well. It's like really going there because, you know, they're filming them flying, going and doing all these amazing things. You got these amazing views of Japan and Tokyo and all this kind of stuff. And then the head vampire lady is basically like, you can't reveal yourself to the world. What are you doing? Like, you need to stop, bro. Like, what is this?
Do they explain that? You can't reveal yourself to the world, or is it just it's the rules?
At the moment, it's the rules, like, and that there is somebody above her as well that it's going to upset. And we're not quite at the point of really pushing on that, but it feels like it's coming later in the story.
Okay, good.
And I mean, like, also, like, everyone was just like, wow, these are really good special effects. Like, did you use a drone shot for this?
Yeah, literally. And they're making these videos and she's not in the video, she's just producing them, right? And because they've been told to take them down, they do actually take them down and start again from the beginning. This time, they're trying to make these videos without using vampire special abilities to see if she can kind of reach 1 million subscribers in kind of like a payback sort of way against these people that kicked her out of the group and see what she can do, especially because becoming a YouTuber nowadays is a lot more difficult than it was previously. So it's quite a fun story with the addition of supernatural abilities, and it's really, really funny. I loved when they had the whole scene where she was like interviewing people to potentially join her new channel. And
half of them streaming the interview to their channels.
Yeah, they're like streaming it and they're just like, so like, you're the cancelled YouTuber, right? And the other like couple that are like, we're looking for a third and things like that. It was so funny. It's very like self-aware as well, so it's good fun.
It knows exactly what it's doing.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. That sounds hilarious.
It's actually kind of funny because what Kenny's talking about is also vampire related.
Oh, really?
This is one I found recently. It's called Actually I Am. You started watching this a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, it's because someone sent the clip, I went out looking for it, and it's actually adorable and bloody silly. Very silly. Because we have definitely seen animes like this before. Boy goes to confess to a girl, finds out she's a vampire. You know, this happens to everyone.
If I had a penny...
I got 2 pennies, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice.
Yes.
So yeah, he finds out that the quiet girl in his classroom has a gun, is a vampire. Sorry.
No, this isn't a yandere show.
And basically this guy's whole thing is he is terrible at keeping secrets.
Oh, God.
But because he's met this girl, because he has been jonesing after her for ages, and she might have to leave the school forever if anyone else found out that she's a vampire, he's like, okay, this is the one secret I'm going to keep. And that's when things go downhill because this is a harem anime, so he meets a bunch more girls who all have their own bizarre, strange, bloody secrets. I kind of want to reveal them, but...
Are they also of supernatural nature?
Yes, and I want to reveal the second one at least.
Okay.
The second one is the class rep, She is this stern, stone-faced iron lady. Everyone says that she's, she's the absolute worst. She keeps all the rules. She even keeps the teacher in check with the rules. And every now and then you see her in a very, very sci-fi environment. So you're like, okay, so she's a part of like some supernatural agency or something like that. No, the room you're seeing her in is the head of the girl she's operating. She is actually
a robot.
She's tiny. She is a tiny, tiny alien piloting a human. A human-sized robot.
Or was that Eddie Murphy film?
Pretty much exactly that.
I know which one. Yeah.
Meet Dave, I think.
Yes, that is it. Yes.
Yeah.
I only know it because of a unrelated
memes.
YouTube thing. But yes, so there are many, many girls in this story, and it seems that all of them have a weird secret. Like, even his like, oh, come on, I'm your childhood best friend. You figure, okay, she's his childhood best friend, so she can't be a zombie or a werewolf or something like that because he'd have picked that up over the years. No, it's not her. That's the weird thing. It's that her glasses are possessed by a god of fortune. Yes.
Okay, so just everyone has something a little bit unhinged about them.
And so he keeps finding this out and has to keep everyone's secrets.
And he's bad at keeping
and he's
secrets.
the absolute worst at that.
Just the worst.
And honestly, I'm having a great time with this. I'm actually genuinely surprised this isn't a recent one.
Yeah, I know. The animation style's beautiful.
The animation is gorgeous. That's why I was surprised when I went looking for it. It's just like, hang on a tick. This is from ages ago.
Yeah, I think it's on Crunchyroll, this one, from memory. And My Naka Punch, was that Netflix?
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll as well, okay. I'm watching another Crunchyroll.
You're just watching Crunchyroll
I mean,
itself.
look, it's where most of the stuff is at the moment.
Pretty much.
Unless you want to talk about Plus Size Elf, and then that's over on the other channel. And
Disney?
No, not Hulu. What's the other one?
High Dive?
High Dive, thank
High
you.
Dive.
I was going
to say something else, but that was not appropriate.
No.
I think I did just mutter it, so that might have to be bleeped out. Sorry.
What time is it? I'll have to double check that. Now, I'm watching Makaine, Too Many Losing Heroines. This is amazing. It is beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
See the trailers for this one.
This is done by A1 Pictures, and it's like, the vibe to it is like old school KyoAni, the look and the feel.
We did notice that, yeah. And it's good?
It's incredible. It is like, it's definitely a rom-com, but it's done incredibly well. Like, you've got the main guy who somehow, as always, ends up embroiled in, the harem sort of environment, but it's not like, you feel like it could become a harem, but it's not a obvious harem. The girls aren't all blatantly after him. So you've got the three main girls, blue-haired girl, Lemon, who's the athletics girl, and the short, tiny literature girl. The only reason I remember Lemon is because she's got a lemon pin in her hair all the time. But the three of them all confess to their crushes and all get rejected over the course of the first 3 episodes. And he just somehow ends up to be at the right location at the right time. So the first girl, the blue-haired girl, who's probably the main love interest, he sees her basically in a cafe while he's sitting there reading and having her old childhood friend run off with her other friend because the other girl's a transfer student and all that.
Okay.
And she's like, trying to be the bigger person, and she's so upset. But then she doesn't have any money because she just recognizes him in the uniform, goes and sits there and starts whinging at him.
Hang on. He's in the right place at the right time, and she goes down to sit with him. Is the right place at the right time each time a park bench?
No, it's not. This is in Benchkun all over again.
Dear God.
So in this situation, it's like a family restaurant. Yeah. And so she sits down and starts, bleeding heart. She's like, I recognize you're in my class. I'm going to tell you everything because I need to tell someone, sort of thing. She's a bit unhinged, and it's well done. It's a good kind of unhinged, not a yandere unhinged.
Good.
Just a crazy unhinged, like, that whole like crazy hot scale thing, whereas there's a certain point. So either way, she doesn't have money to pay for all the food she's ordered, so she now owes him money.
Okay.
And so she starts, she arranges with him that she's going to keep bringing him lunches and things at school until she pays it off, and he has to determine what each of those are, like their worth. And you think, oh, she must be really into him. No. She is still heartbroken over losing, her best friend and all that.
Fair enough.
So then that's kind of the kickoff from it, and it's well done. And there is a confession style moment in like the first 4 episodes between them, but it's not what you think. It's because the guy's just socially awkward and he wants to confirm they're friends.
Oh, buddy.
And he's like, I need to ask you, and she's like, oh god, but look, you know what the answer's gonna be, and he's like, I know, but I need to confirm it anyway. And he said, I want you to be my friend. She says, sorry, I only see you as a friend at the same time. It's like, they just start losing it laughing. It's really sweet. Lemon's the girl in the sports club. She's in love with her senpai, and the senpai's new girlfriend is like, she feels like she's just kind of swooped in. And also the funny thing as well is that the main blue-haired girl has a real thing against childhood friends. She's like, you have an unfair advantage. And so anyone who says, oh, we're childhood friends, she gives them evils. It's just like, it's really good. It's really cute. It's really fun. It's fast-paced. The facial expressions are amazing. The blue-haired girl, funnily enough, some of her facial expressions are kind of Aqua from Konosuba-esque, like just really over the top. She's not useless. She's not useless though. But yeah, look, if you like any of the rom-coms I've suggested in the past, this is like perfect. This is amazing. This is so good. There are a few others we tried to watch and went, ugh.
There have been a lot of rom-coms like that lately, haven't there? Yes.
I think I should also mention, because we haven't had Kira Lee or Emma on for a while, that if you're one of our shoujo enjoyers, it's Dahlia in Bloom is worth mentioning as well. It is about it is an isekai, but it is very much a shoujo isekai. So the girl's reincarnated in a world with alchemy and magic, and she's
reincarnated as a bottle.
No, she's just reincarnated as a normal redhead girl. And she is making magical items with her dad. It's really sweet. Unfortunately, things kind of go a little bit downhill. Because
of the red hair?
No, actually, yes. Yes.
That was not... I did not mean it that way.
There's a whole marriage arrangement thing and all that and all these other things. But like... The parties get their comeuppance, which is satisfying. It's really sweet. If you like the shoujo genre, highly recommend watching Dahlia in Bloom. You'll find it really fun. Even if you don't, actually, it's just a good story. Like if you liked Bukusekai, what was that?
Bookworm.
Yeah, reincarnated in another world as a bookworm and making books and stuff.
Bukusekai, that is what it's called.
Little blue-haired girl. If you like that, you'll like this. It's also like it's got quite a wide appeal, I feel. So there you go. Anyway, if you've been watching something interesting or reading something interesting, let us know down in the comment section below.
If you don't like the things we've been watching, argue with us in the comments. I will fight you.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back Catalogue.
Why will nobody fight me in the comments?
It's because you're not in the comments enough. You have to sit there like a troll under the bridge, like, I'm waiting.
I must find a bridge.
I need someone to draw yourself? Kenny as a troll under a bridge, please.
Do it.
Put it in the comments.
Give me fan art. Give me some fan art. I want to be the troll under the bridge.
Oh, dear. Anyway, back catalogue time. We are talking Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. As we said, it has been 15 years since Endless 8.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute
since Haruhi in general. thing is, I feel like we're underselling just what an effect this show had on anime in general. This, like, how would I put it? There's certain shows which are just quintessentially the most 90s thing you've ever seen, right? I don't know.
Well, this was the quintessential noughties anime.
This was year 2006 as an anime. This was the, like...
Kind of how, like, Lucky Star was a certain point in time. This was a marker in anime history.
This was... And it was indicative of kind of, like, the kind of people who really liked anime at the time. It was the kind of the culture of lol so random humor online and stuff like that. Cringe now, but it was... It had its time.
So, Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, first part aired 14 episodes in 2006. As we previously mentioned, it aired out of sequential order. It was the order it aired in and the order it was released on DVD and Blu-ray. All three of them are different. And then there is a different order once you add in the second season as well. And Endless 8 aired around about this time 15 years ago. I think we might be 2 weeks after it started, so we'd be smack bang in the middle of it now.
I reckon we got to regale the plot a bit first.
Yeah,
like,
so...
there are people out there who haven't seen this show, which
I know.
is weird. We are old.
Yeah, well, Haruhi is insane, and that's what... No. So, I've got a proper synopsis here, I promise.
She's also God.
She is God, yeah.
She has no idea, but she's God.
Yeah, so this was a Kyoto Animation anime, which explains why it did so well, because Kyoto Animation, to this day, has some of the most beautiful art style, in my opinion.
And it was gorgeous.
Yeah. Now, for the synopsis, if a survey was conducted to see if people believed in aliens, time travels, or maybe espers, most would say they do not. Average high school student Kyon considers himself among the long believers. However, on his first day of school, he meets a girl. Yeah, well, on his first day of school, he meets a girl who soon turns his world upside down. During the class introduction, the beautiful Haruhi Suzumiya boldly announces her boredom with normal people and her intention of meeting supernatural beings. Dumbfounded, Kyon learns of her frustration with the lack of paranormal focused clubs at their school and unwittingly inspires her to start her own club. And of course, she creates the Spreading Fun All Over the World with Haruhi Suzumiya Brigade, known as the SOS Brigade, as in please do send help, they're insane. Following the SOS Brigade's founding, Haruhi manages to recruit Kyon and 3 other members, the quiet bookworm Yuki Nagato.
Who came with the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair. The shy upperclassman Mikuru Asahina, who was used as basically a mascot, and the perpetually positive Itsuki Koizumi, who for some reason is always like, things are great.
And he is a mysterious transfer student. That's what got her attention.
Yeah, he's like you're in
he's a mysterious transfer student. He must be weird.
He is. So
yeah, it turns out. I'm sorry.
Continue. Oh yeah. No, you go.
It turns out that the 3 people that she's roped in, who would otherwise seem mundane and normal, each one of them is in fact completely weird, very supernatural, and are there basically to monitor Haruhi Suzumiya. They're just like, she's God and we've been sent to watch her, but not to reveal ourselves. It's like, she's the kind of thing that they are looking for. They're the kind of thing she's looking for. She's what they're looking for. Neither of them can...
tell the other.
Can they? I mean, she definitely wants to find that sort of thing, but it's just like, okay, we are going to form a club to look for that sort of thing. We're right here.
I promise we're not hiding in plain sight.
The bookworm is definitely not a robot. The mascot girl, definitely not a time traveler. Me, I'm not an esper. I don't even know what an esper is. Is that like Godzilla?
Is it EFP? Yes, actually.
The sports channel?
Yeah, ESPN.
Tonight on Haruhi Suzumiya.
Each of them are weird.
And so basically, they kind of, they let Kyon know that, she's God and she can change the universe on a whim, which means she could just suddenly destroy the universe if she kind of wanted to. And so they're there to sort of like cede to her demands, make her happy, go along with her wild schemes. Otherwise, existence might just wink out completely and take everything with it. Which is a lot of pressure to put on the one normal guy there.
Yeah. So we mentioned this earlier, but the anime was aired in a non-linear order with the prologue and the first 7 chapters of the first novel intermixed with chapters from some of the later novels. So there you go. The next episode preview features 2 different episode numberings, one from Haruhi, who numbers the episodes in chronological order, and one number from Kyon, who numbers them in broadcast order. So they're the other way around. The DVD, however, release starts with an episode 0 and are then shown in the correct chronological order, with Yuki now narrating the next episode preview. So the DVD order is the correct chronological order, despite what?
Incorrect.
No, you're wrong. So yeah.
The DVD order is the order that I watched it in originally as well.
Yeah.
So.
I saw it in the incorrect order. Well, the non-linear order.
Yeah.
And I was very confused because I did watch this as it aired because I was in, second year of uni at the time.
Oof, this is going back.
That was back when the world of anime piracy was at an all-time high, and you would sort of become a member on a website to access stuff.
Or you'd watch it in bits on YouTube.
16
Yes.
3-minute clips.
God, what a weird time.
I wonder if they put Haruhi in bits on YouTube, like, depending on who the user is, would depend on what order you would watch them in, right? If multiple people had put them up, you'd be so screwed.
Because you're not just watching them out of order, you're watching them in 3-minute parts out of order. Oh, God! The horror!
This is the ultimate remix.
This is the true order.
Haruhi Roulette. So look, this then had a second season, and it was advertised with a full-page advertisement in the Asahi Shimbun magazine on July 7, 2007, Japan.
And yeah, this is the thing you've got to figure into this. Haruhi was huge. It really, really took off. Its popularity could not be understated.
All the guys who were into the Japanese cars would have Haruhi stickers, which is just the H in her silhouette on the back of the car. It was insane. It was everywhere.
And so for a new season to be announced and with a big full-page spread in Popular Magazine, and I think a few TV shorts featuring live-action characters caught on security feeds.
Yeah, so promotional videos for the second season featured live-action sequences inspired by the Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody chapter from the third novel, and it depicted Haruhi and Kyon breaking into school
to draw crop circles on the oval or something.
Yeah. So they did that's right. The anime's official website was replaced by a fake 404 error with 5 form input fields and a reference to the pivotal date of the film coming, the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, the 4th volume of the light novel series, which then became a film. So they then rebroadcast the first series in April 2009, followed by they did what they call a teletama, which is I'm reading this wrong.
Tamatelli?
A comment by Teletama, which is one of the broadcast stations.
Oh.
Sorry, I was thinking this was one of the ones where they had the commentary thing afterwards for 10 minutes with a cast and crew.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't have that for this. So they then said that the 2009 broadcast would be 28 episodes long, and then it would then include the second season. So the first new episode, Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody, was then aired as the 8th episode of the rebroadcast. So unlike the original run, the rebroadcast was shown in chronological order. So then it was, understandable. And then that
understandable.
Then that's where you get in that second season to the second part in the controversial Endless 8 story arc, in which the members of the SOS Brigade are stuck in a time loop which lasts for 8 episodes each, which is practically identical. Yeah,
this is the thing. Nothing like this has ever been done before, probably for a good reason. The episodes legitimately repeated. It was the same story beats. It was the same scripts. The voice actors had to read the scripts multiple times. They didn't just copy-paste their things from the first episode. And there were only slight iterations. The camera angle was different in each shot. People were wearing different clothes. But otherwise, it was the same exact events.
And they had to reanimate the whole thing.
For
I could
many
understand,
episodes.
The idea behind it, potentially. But I feel like the execution just didn't work out well. Because, if each one is the same story, but I feel like they had to change more things to make it a bit more interesting. Otherwise, people are going to be like, what is this? So, like, the way they've done it isn't a great execution, but the idea that all the episodes are essentially the same story because it's Groundhog Day and you can play it in any order, and maybe having a final episode that's like actually explains everything and has a good finale, that would create, and that one you can't interchange, but the other ones you can. That would be a really interesting idea. It's just the execution they went through is not good.
Oh, but here's the other thing as well. This is still from a completely different age of media consumption. And these weren't dropped all at once. These came out once a week. Yeah. And so people were tuning into this, wondering when the shoe was going to drop and there was going to be some kind of change.
Do you want to know what that change was? I would like you to think about the fact that it's called Endless 8. There are going to be 8 chapters.
There's going to be 8 chapters.
Guess what date the last episode aired on?
8th of the 8th of 8? You're kidding.
No, I'm not. 8th of the 8th, 09, technically. So it says August 7, but that was because of the time zoning that they did it. It was 11:55 p.m. that it aired.
But finished it on 8th of the 8th.
Okay, the thing about this, the story of Endless 8 is that Haruhi is enjoying her summer vacation with her friends and going and doing all the tasks. And she basically just doesn't want summer vacation to end. What do you do when God doesn't want summer vacation to end and you have no idea because you're part of the time loop and things are repeating?
Yeah, the loop continues for the 15,532nd time.
Yeah, only one person is aware of it. It's the time traveler.
No,
What?
it's the computer.
Oh,
the machine girl, the alien,
purple-haired girl.
Yeah, Nagato.
Yeah,
and so, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, going back and reading through all the forum posts, people talking about this stuff. There are like collages, images people have taken of just people suffering through the Endless 8, going, when will it end? Make it stop.
Yeah. So I'd like to, we've discussed like a few bits about this, but what we haven't talked about is the origin, because Haruhi Suzumiya is a series of light novels when it first came out. Endless 8 is a short story.
Yeah, it's like a 100-page short story. It is.
It's not a lot.
It's an interesting little bit, but it doesn't stretch out and make you feel the terror of being in a time loop like the actual anime did. And I think that it was inventive.
Actually, it's not even 100 pages. For context, the 5th volume of the light novel series is only 250 pages long. The Endless 8 plotline is one of 3 vignettes. As in not a main story, a side story. A fun little side story within the collection, but nothing too incredible in the wider scope of the franchise.
Okay, and I did some looking, and there was some reasoning behind why Endless 8 was like this. The most credible theory that people seem to have come up with, and apparently this was confirmed by the 3 creators of the series. There was a story arc, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. This was turned into a movie.
Yep.
It was supposed to be part of season 2.
Oh.
But the thing is that the writing for it...
That did come out literally the year after.
Exactly. The writing for it got so expansive for The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya that it was too much to actually fit into season 2. So they're like, okay, we're going to turn that into a whole movie. It'll be great. And it was. But then that left a massive empty vacuum of many episodes in season 2. Yeah. What are we going to fill those with? Oh, I don't know. Endless 8!
That's unfortunate.
Look,
I don't know if it was
hilarious.
Like, that's the thing. This was torment. This was long, repetitive nonsense. But somehow it was very on brand for the Haruhi Suzumiya thing.
I was about to say, it just sounds like something that would come out of her head, though. So, I guess it works.
Do you want to know something also hilarious? The period Endless 8 aired over is the 2 months of the main summer in Japan.
Yeah.
Summer never ends.
I have some more wacky nonsense, which I spent a bit of time in the Wayback Machine finding.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
Well, I would like to quickly If you haven't read the Game Rant article on this,
The Game Rant article?
oh, amazing. It's just kind of, it's very straightforward and explains it. But, you know, the Endless Eight storyline was chosen for the adaptation in the anime. The days of summer occur, the time loop is established. I know the anime differs from the light novel and the main character Kyon tries to finish his homework but fails to complete it before falling asleep each time. The next week, fans tuned in to see Endless Eight 2. In which the time loop is recreated with very minor changes. And as Kyon develops a continuing sense of deja vu. The next week's episode, Endless Eight 3, continued the trend, and people started losing their minds.
Because pattern recognition set in, they're like, oh my God, they're going to do this for 8 episodes.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. It's incredible. Like, from a story idea, calling it Endless Eight and making it a repetitive thing that lasts forever and summer ends on the 8th of August, yada, yada. It's a great idea. It's very, as Game Rant put it, it's a novel concept, but a bit tedious. Especially considering how little content they had to work off from the light novels for this. So having those 8 episodes being nearly identical, all the characters seeming to slowly gain self-awareness of their situation only to have things reset. Everyone got really annoyed. And, you know, 8 copycat episodes? That's going to drive anyone insane.
And yeah, I'd just like to repeat that this was from a panel of the English voice actors. They weren't allowed to just copy and paste their lines from the previous episode to put into the next one. No. They did the same lines again and again and again and again and again. And again, times 8.
Yeah, so many fans were dismayed, angered, and most of all, bored. So they only seeming to only reach a length of 8 for the sake of matching the original story's name as a gimmick.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true, but
I don't know if I read boredom from all the forum posts I saw of it.
It was
I
rage.
read terror, despair, rage, yes, but just
when will it end?
People were going nuts. It was great.
Yeah, they became a meme. This became a very early meme.
This was something fantastic. But yeah, so this was there was boredom, and it did affect Haruhi Suzumiya's rating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First season of Haruhi Suzumiya on my anime list.
I was going to bring this up as well.
Oh, if you want to, please do.
No, you go. If you have it on your phone in front of you, tell them.
In its heyday, it started out number 19 on my anime list.
So that would have been like a 9 or an 8 point something at those times.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Tifa, do you have the figure for where it ended up after Endless 8 on you?
Well, actually, it went up to 15, by the way. And then it ended up at 158 or something.
For season 1? Because it was getting review bombed because of season 2.
I don't have 158
Oh, what
here.
do you have?
So it went up to 15. That's the figure I need to check. Within the month of Endless 8, it dropped to 52.
It drops
and
again.
then within 3 months, it dropped to 1,478.
Oh, okay. So my number might have been before that.
Yeah, like...
That's right.
So season 1 is currently on a 7.8 and ranked at 958.
Yeah.
Suzumiya season 2 is 3,161. It's on a 7.2.
But 3,000.
People were so mad they went back to the first one and started rating it down. Yeah, especially because it had such a high rating before. People genuinely really enjoy Haruhi.
Yeah. And then the film. It's actually quite good.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's higher rated than both of them. It's on an 8.6. It's ranked 94.
Decent.
So there you
still
go.
top
But just...
Yeah.
But yeah, scrolling through the Wayback Machine on that page, just watching that figure pass like 1,000, you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video on it. I can send it to you as well. And they have like all the screenshots from the time. I was like, okay, yeah.
One of the top reviews for season 2 on my anime list recommends I sleep with the Endless 8 arc on 10 out of 10.
It's like counting sheep.
Yeah, right.
Except you're counting repetitive circumstances.
There's so many like mixed feelings reviews. It's like, did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Like,
Did I ever tell you the tragedy of the Endless 8? Not a story in jail, I would tell you.
Oh, look,
Look, here's the thing. It's like, in anime, in entertainment, where when you are competing with thousands of possible stories and all of these big name studios, you got to do something to stand out. I don't think anyone's done anything like this before or since or ever, and good reason not to. But still, we are talking about it many years later because it had such an effect.
I mean, it's as Game Rant points out, it was a interesting but flawed experiment in a series that was already no stranger to playing with temporal mechanics and order.
I think this is just, like, as far as, like, the temporal mechanics of the order go, this was par for the course.
Yeah.
Something like this was doomed to happen.
Yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, there are films and TV shows that have done time loops really well. Obviously, Groundhog Day being one of the more notable ones. TV series-wise, Stargate.
Oh, what's the Tom Cruise one?
Oh,
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, which is actually based on a Japanese manga.
Yeah, it is.
What is it? There Is Only Kill. I read that recently. It's amazing. It is so good, and they can't make it like. There's no source material for a second film for that, so I don't know how they're going to do it.
Are they doing?
Are they still continuing to do that? Because I think they announced they wanted to, but haven't like officially.
Oh, I
announced
thought
that
it was
it's
in
happening.
production. Please no.
I don't know for certain. It's not one I've been keeping a close eye on. Since I've read the manga, I'm like, please don't. I probably won't watch it.
For God's sakes, things are allowed to just have one story. They don't need sequels and an expanded universe.
No. Hollywood needs sequels for everything. We must drain every drop of goodness from this source material.
The first article that I found is from Variety, and it says Tom Cruise is apparently still interested in Edge of Tomorrow 2. So I don't think it's actually happening. Perhaps at some point they,
Look, Tom Cruise can remain interested, but don't do it. Like, he's got
'Cause-
plenty of other films he can run in.
I know. But basically, Variety asked him, they were like, dude, is this dead? They used the term, is Edge of Tomorrow dead? Edge of Tomorrow 2, sorry. And basically they all said, we keep talking about it, and that's it. All of the quotes are just, we keep talking about it.
To remember if they did majorly change the storyline for Edge of Tomorrow compared to the manga.
They did, yes.
Yeah. Because, that was very different. But, like, I mean...
even as something different from the manga, it's still good as is.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually one of Cruise's better movies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago, holy.
Welcome to the time warp.
Let's do it again. It's a loop.
We've actually done this exact episode 8 times now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I never want winter to end.
Winter is coming. No, wait, winter's here. Winter never ends.
Look, the time loops can be done quite well, but you don't normally see franchises drag it over multiple episodes or multiple films.
Oh, I think time travel is a mistake and we should never have done it.
Time loops, not time travel.
No, both.
But I like time travel.
I watched
stories.
Umbrella Academy. That was troublesome. I was gonna say, Russian Doll is a series that did the time loop thing, but that worked really well because each episode is distinctly different, but it's still a time loop, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I gave it a go.
Wasn't your thing?
Bill Murray did it better.
Look, Bill Murray does a lot better, especially the crazy. But yeah, look, the Stargate one was really good because that was Colonel O'Neill's basically stuck in a time loop and he's slowly going crazy. So he learns how to speak like fluent languages.
And it's him and Teal'c. And there's a bit where it's sort of like you see the flash between 3 different versions of the time loop where O'Neill is juggling. And then Teal'c has learned to juggle. And then they're both juggling in the middle of a briefing.
Yeah, and also like Teal'c doesn't say anything. He plays the Nagato Yuki role in this. He's like, I thought I was the only one. I thought you were just strange and anything could happen. So, yeah.
I love that show.
It was so good. Look, if you're going to watch Haruhi and you get to Endless 8, I would say watch episode 1. So Endless 8 1. Endless 8 7, Endless 8 8.
No.
Because 7 and 8 are different.
No, watch all of them. Embrace our suffering. Suffer with us.
Okay, if you want to embrace the suffering, put the dub on and play a game.
The power of chaos prevails.
We need Aaron here for chaos. Can't be done. Anyway, look, if you want to watch Haruhi, it is currently on Netflix and Crunchyroll, depending on your region worldwide.
Is it? It is not.
It is, depending on the region you're in.
Well, it's not on Crunchyroll here.
No, it's not. Which is annoying.
And I didn't think it is also not on Netflix here. So
wow.
I just thought it was not available at all in Australia. Getting the DVDs was really, really hard as well. As someone who has the DVDs, it is very hard to get them. Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya used to be harder to get, easier to get. Melancholy is harder to get now. So just an
Melancholy in Australia is because the rights still sit with Anime Lab.
Uh-huh.
They haven't been transitioned from Funimation. So.
And so I guess we can't. We
if you're in Australia,
endorse
good
piracy.
luck.
Look, if you're in Australia, you know what to do. We have a title to maintain, and it is well known worldwide. And those who know what we're talking about know exactly what we're talking about. But the issue is that most streaming services in Australia aren't going to have it, and there may or may not be the full thing on the Internet Archive.
That's the thing. It's like, if you can't give us what we want, we kind of go get it.
Yeah, you can watch the original broadcast 480 version on Internet Archive.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying, like, if you are struggling, this is at least, legally speaking, the same as getting it from your library. Because that's what Internet Archive is about. Mm-hmm. It's about archiving things for accessibility for the future, so these things don't happen. Anyway,
fun place.
It's a great place. Anyway, let's move on because we got plenty of anime news to talk about.
Kawaii-Fi.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
On the note of controversy, I'd still watch Endless 8 over Monogatari.
That's fair.
Yeah. More things happen in Endless 8 than the first 8 episodes of Monogatari, so...
Wow.
Look, I have tried so many times. It is so slow, and it's... If you like Monogatari, and it's not just because you think it's edgy...
You are wrong.
Tell me why. I've tried 3 times to watch this in my life.
Fight him in the comments.
I have all of it. I've got the DVD sitting there, and I was like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do it. No. I got... through me and Emma tried watching it. We got halfway through episode 1 and she was like, no, I'm out. I'm tapping out. Nothing.
Wow.
We have watched 20 minutes. Nothing has happened. They've sat in a classroom talking trash. It's like, yeah, I don't want to watch an entire show that's just Tarantinoing.
Yeah.
Like, the artwork, stunning. Character design, fantastic. Storytelling, lazy and slow. I'm sorry. It's like, if you like it, good for you. But I have things to do with my time.
I definitely watched the first episode and I noped out of watching any others.
Yeah, I've gotten through till about 6 episodes. I pushed...
It can't be a generation thing because that was our generation.
Yeah, it's not a generation thing. It's an audience type. There is an audience type that likes that long-winded storytelling. This is not good storytelling.
I like that long-winded storytelling. I'm a Tolkien fan, baby.
Yeah, but Tolkien spends less time talking about trees than they do about random things. In
Jesus!
Yeah. It's like, the fast cuts for the sake of it, and then they put in blank screens which say insert screen here or screen 42 and stuff like that. It's like, it's being pretentious for the sake of being pretentious. And I do apologize for those who enjoy it, but
anime Wes
it's pretentious.
Anderson.
It is. So there we go, controversy. It's us for once. I lied because we do have controversy. Netflix has been compromised. So they have stated their post-production partner leaked anime and TV services, and their streaming service is aggressively taking action. So you might have seen leaks for Dandadan, Ranma and Half's new season. What were the new ones that you saw, Tifa, that were live action?
I was going to say the other animes.
ReZero as well, yeah.
ReZero. There was the Mononoke 2 film as well. Arcane. There was also live actions like Heartbreak High, which is a popular LGBT one, and there was another. There was a SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
There was like a Christmas movie, but I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I've just discovered something incredibly strange in this listing here. More episodes of Ranma and a half eventually leaked out for a total of 12 episodes. The average number for an anime quarter of a year. This next sentence is what just has me a bit like, what? Viz Media and Hot Topic, yes, planned to screen the world premiere of Ranma Half at Anime NYC. I wonder if that's because Hot Topic are doing a collab on merch.
I think they're just the sponsor. They're just the sponsor because of the merch. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, Hot Topic? Chain wallets. Oh my God, that one where it's like advertise Hot Topic as if you're Tim Curry.
I'll have to send that to you later.
Wallets!
Hot Topic is less emo now. It's more like JJ's where they do, they still do some emo stuff, but they're a lot more like pop culture.
So what you're telling me, if I want to get my big goth energy on, I have to go back to Black Milk.
Yeah, Black Milk, Berserk clothing as well.
Yeah. Oh, curses.
I need to find that clip and send it to you.
So look, either way, we ended up having quite a lot of stuff leaked. There's Plankton, the movie. That's the one. That's
the SpongeBob one. Yeah.
Spellbound also linked. Apparently, all of this was leaked from a production company from global entertainment technology and localization company Liuno.
Localization technology. That's been the consistent rumor about this, that a lot of very, very salty localizers were laid off and replaced with AI.
Oh.
And this is their little bit of revenge.
Yeah, it was kind of a rumor before the leaks as well that something like this might potentially happen. Because especially, like the Deer anime that was out recently as well, because they used AI. So Well, so I mean, people started having a bit more of a discussion about it.
Yeah. I think it's also worth mentioning that Shiganoko no Koshtantan didn't have AI used for the translation, but the company that does the translation has previously used AI. So the translation is accurate. Like I think we talked about this when the first episode came out. Like me and Emma went and listened to it. Emma obviously speaks a lot more Japanese than I do, but even I could tell that what was being said was fairly accurate. And we've heard from friends who are fluent Japanese speaker that no, it's the subs are accurate. Dub, not too sure on. Haven't checked that, but my understanding is the dub follows the subs directly. So yeah, we'll see. Either way, the stuff was linked to public via sites such as 4chan and BitTorrent sites. So no surprise there. Liuno published saying that they are aware of recent security issue involving unauthorized access to confidential content. And then, the usual, protecting our clients' confidentiality, ensuring security is our highest priority. Basically boiler text, we know what happened and it was bad and it's not our fault. Yep. So they're going to investigate it.
They started with a YouTube apology video.
Yeah, basically. There was also that Crunchyroll then provided a statement that they're aware of it and they've opened an investigation to look at the source and they're taking action to have it taken down. Look, I'm going to be blunt. It's out. It's not going to get taken down. People will hide it. It will go to private tracks. It'll go to private dark websites for people sharing stuff. It's not going to be something that they can take down.
Once it's out there,
it's out.
You cannot put the genie back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing as well is that a lot of these animes that were released, they haven't been subtitled. So a lot of people that do pirate within Western culture predominantly, so a lot of that they won't be able to really watch anyway until there are fan subtitles, which I think is obviously a possibility. But
there'll be machine translated fan subs straight away.
Oh, as someone 100%. That's in a group full of translators, that stuff will be done in less than a week.
Yeah,
it'll be done in days.
Yeah.
The quality of most of them was about 360p, so they weren't the high quality ones, except for Arcane. I think they got up to 720, but you've got the huge watermarks. It's like throwback to when Harry Potter would be pirated from the studio or whatever, and it's got property of Netflix across it. This is not for release.
So it sounds like what's probably happened is that version has been sent to them at a low quality for quick release, so that they can then create the subtitle files and translation stuff for it and realize where they need to put signs on the screen and stuff.
That almost basically confirms that it was the localizers.
Yeah. It does.
Jesus.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it is confirmed that it was that at least that company. So, there you go.
The motive remains a mystery, but
Apparently, there's some Terminator Zero out as well.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, there was. But like,
That'll be
even,
interesting.
I was gonna say House of the Dragon had their finale leaked ahead of the actual season finale, but it did not impact the show whatsoever. It was still their highest rated finale. I think part of that might also be a generational thing of people don't know how to pirate anymore.
Yeah.
This is like so weird to say, but like I
know.
think
No,
most
there
people
is a lot of
don't
that.
like think about it, and those who are like from a generation that has pirated things before, I mean, especially in Australia, right? A lot of the websites and things you would do to get to that content don't exist anymore. So I think people
But it's not just
aren't as fussed, but
it's not just a website thing though. It's like every couple of points in a generation, there will be some kind of like a wall put up between what you can get and how you can get it. And
that's true.
Build a 10-foot wall, someone will build a 12-foot ladder. But it's that our generation was very, very good at figuring stuff out, at finding the way. And like, not to rag on the new generation, but you darn kids, this generation is not so good at being proactive and figuring stuff out for themselves.
I wouldn't say it's that they're not proactive. It's more that a lot of the information is being closely guarded so that it doesn't get taken down. So
I guess
a lot of people who were doing like hi Liger. I don't know if that came through on the mic, but he just went
from the mouth.
But a lot of the places where you would get this type of content have gone private, members only, because that's the only way they can ensure they don't get taken down now. And getting into those communities is getting harder and harder. And then you still have to know how to use a VPN, set up, your your NAT, so that you can actually network connect to them and still be part of that thing. And you've got to have a upload ratio higher than your download ratio. All these different things that are barriers to entry to people who don't understand the technology.
It's a different culture now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's changed a lot.
I think that like a lot of younger Gen Z as well, like they're not going to go on websites like 4chan or Reddit or anything like that would potentially have links or have discussions about this stuff. Lots of younger Gen Zers
Cowards.
or even Gen Alpha, like older Gen Alpha, will not use Twitter or anything like that. And let me just say, like, there are spoilers everywhere on Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone's already uploaded lots of clips. So it's wild. But do you know what is also interesting is a turn of events, which is pirating but not pirating, is the amount of people that use phones in cinemas that are from a younger generation.
Right.
And it's not just texting and calling, it's people full on recording like the screen and getting away with it and then uploading it on Twitter. Like, it's a weird new way of it's not a new way of pirating because people used to set up the tripod and record it. It's an old way, but it's redone for a new generation. It's just so funny to see.
Like, one of the earliest things I ever pirated was Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the
oh my God.
terrible quality, this thing was recorded in an Indonesian cinema kind of deal.
Yeah. It's like if you ever go to Bali and you get your DVDs.
Yeah, right. I remember like 2004, 5. I went to Bali on a
got
holiday.
your PlayStation chipped so you could buy all the games.
I did. I got all the PS2 games. That's where I found the Neon Genesis game. I'm like, this has a game. It was all in Japanese.
Man, we just admitted to a whole bunch of fraud.
We were in another country. Doesn't matter. It was like the worst kept secret for those outside of like Australia, that you would go to Bali and Bali in their market areas would have thousands upon thousands of pirated DVDs.
And you would be able to buy them for just
like $1.
Less.
So cheap.
It was really well known. You can do it now, but the range is substantially lower. And like a lot of, because of streaming's become so accessible, and let's be honest, most things do have backdoors that you can find on alternative streaming platforms.
Hell yeah.
It's a lot less demand for it, so it's a lot you used to go to like a shopping center and half the building would be illegal DVDs.
Yeah.
Like, especially in Kuta. Oh my God.
Look,
You used to be able to just give a list. These are all the DVDs that I want. Here you go. Do you have this?
And they just come back going, yes, got them.
and they give it to you in a CD book.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they would give you a coloured bag depending on how good your bargaining was. And if you, depending on what area, the bag colours were different. So, yeah, I remember like in Kuta, if you got a black and white. Oh, like, he's come in here and he's sneezing. I need to give him a puff. My cat has asthma. We're going to get him a little helicopter hat.
And like, I know we're kind of going on a weird tangent here, but yeah, this whole piracy thing did change when Netflix really started launching its streaming platform, because all of that stuff was just easy to get on demand. We didn't mind paying the fee to just get what we wanted.
Yeah.
And then they started boosting the price and putting up ads and, oh, hey, cat.
Yeah.
It's like they started putting up the barriers and taking away the stuff that we wanted. And so a lot of people just went back to piracy.
Yeah.
You take away our stuff, we just...
Yeah,
Sorry,
like no, I was gonna say, especially because there are so many more streaming sites now, whereas before it was just basically Netflix and then like Amazon Prime, and then Disney came into play as well, and now there's so many more. Prime wasn't a big thing here in Australia in comparison to the States,
and now there's Apple as well.
There's Max and
but
Apple and
at
everything
least,
else.
I mean, at least in Apple's case, and I can't believe I'm defending Apple, but at least in Apple's case, like their original shows are actually done through proper studios. So they're actually of a decent quality. Whereas
you still just defended Apple.
I know, I can't believe I'm saying that.
Heretic.
Yeah, right. But at least the quality of the shows that Apple produce, whether you like them or not, they're of a high quality. Whereas you look at some of the shows Netflix have put out, and some of them like are so low quality.
I'm so mad. I am so mad. I have beef with Netflix for the finale of Umbrella Academy that just came out.
Was it low quality?
So, you know how everyone talks about how Game of Thrones had the most horrific ending to a series that just ruins the rest of the series?
Yeah.
I know Umbrella Academy isn't as big as that, but that is literally what everybody on the internet is saying about this finale. Especially when you only give them 6 episodes to finish an entire show.
Typical.
Oh, so this is the end?
This is the end. It's over. And you're like, okay, thank you for nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
Okay, well, we've gotten well off the topic of news. We do have to do a bit of a sad story here. So, Pokemon voice actress Rachel Lillis has passed away. She was battling breast cancer. She was only, I think, 46. She was the voice for both Misty and Jessie and Jigglypuff as well, actually. It's basically there was a GoFundMe campaign set up in May this year for Lily's to help fund a home care nurse for her. The campaign revealed that she'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. It spread to her spine, but thus leaving her barely able to walk. And the campaign noted that she'd been in a nursing home in LA since late January to receive care, but the noise in the home made it difficult for her to rest. So then, unfortunately, the campaign announced her passing away along with a message on the Monday. It's really quite shocking considering how young she was. And, you know, kind of also... She'd done a lot of different characters over the course of the show, and considering that she was voicing Jessie all the way up until the end of the series as well, like that's a long career voicing a character. She was also Utena in Revolutionary Girl Utena, Martina in Slayers Next. She was in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, Boogie Pop Phantom, Irresponsible Captain Taylor, Genshiken, and DNA 2, which is, like... Some of them a bit more well-known, some of them not so much. But, you know, she was a good voice actress. It's a shame. We're seeing a lot of well-known voice actors passing away at the moment. It's just surprising someone realistically young. Like, you'd think she'd have another 40 years at least.
Cancer's the worst.
It is. So let's move on to something awful, and that's that Netflix has got the streaming rights for the first Slam Dunk film. So we've got to be something more positive. We've got to smile here and there. So Netflix is going to be able to stream Slam Dunk, the first Slam Dunk film, on August 25th in the US. We're not sure how that's going to translate to international, but we believe it should be coming out fairly soon.
Sorry, in case you can't tell, I'm touching the kitty.
It's I believe it's already on Netflix in Japan as well.
Yes, it is, yeah. It opened in Japan December 2022 and then was sent to Netflix Japan with a release, late last year anyway. So, it was nominated for Best Animated Film in the 16th Asia Pacific Screen Awards in 2023, along with, plenty of other big ones at the time. Hi, Liga. So that's coming to Netflix. Now, it's time to talk anime, and there's a lot to cover here. So
Isn't that what we're doing?
Let's try and lighten down.
Anime updates. So, Dr. Stone anime's final season is going to air in 2025 and be split across three quarters.
Good.
So that's 36 episodes, realistically.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, and it makes sense for those who've read the manga. They'll know that this last story arc is bigger than the others, and it will need a little bit longer time to do it. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in the Dungeon?
Yes.
Part 5 anime is going to debut next month in October.
Is this a
next month, 2 months
final?
away, next
Is this a
season.
finale as well, or?
I don't know.
Because it's been dragging on for a
The
while
light novel's still going, so probably not.
Okay.
Of course it
Yeah.
is.
It's
It's
like going to be a more irritating One Piece.
no. This you can at least watch it in a couple of weeks. Like One Piece, a month. If you watched it, if you did nothing else but watch One Piece, it would take you a month.
Jesus.
One Piece.
Well, that's why they've got the remake coming out.
Bingo. The remake looks amazing. Like quality.
Oh yeah, we've seen the concept art for it. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic anime is getting its second season as well. There's an announcement video as well. That is fantastic series if you haven't watched it. Just really good fun. And that's the end of the anime news, but now we've got a lot of manga. And the first thing is that I think we mentioned this about 2-3 shows ago. Kadokawa had a cyber attack on them, and during that they decided they were going to put on hold their shipping of basically volumes and so forth, because it caused a lot of issues with not just their internal processing but also their order list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It's time for more Red Bull.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored yet.
The delicious taste of Raid Shadow Legends.
Now in the flavor of pomegranate. So they had a cyber attack that basically caused issues with its accounting functions and how they could then actually doing to things. Basically, it seems like someone put dodgy things in their accounting system, was either trying to get books for free or trying to get paid for books that they weren't selling.
I see.
So they had to go through and audit everything. So they now expect to be shipping this month in August again, and in September they expect to be able to scale up promotional activities once again now that they'll have everything back under control and compensate for the delayed shipments and titles that have had the supply problems, and then obviously reactivate its direct order tablet system, which allows bookstores to connect directly to them and place orders as part of a large batch shipment. Really good system, works well for the international market. Onto more weird kind of things to happen. So you know that series Danger, The Danger's in My Heart, which I mentioned. It's about like the short sort of, socially awkward guy and the really tall pretty girl who's like a model and all that. That one there.
Oh yeah.
So that's a manga series. It's getting a light novel. Normally it's the other way around, so I'm really confused. So yeah, that's apparently they are getting a light novel with 4 stories launched on September 25th. We don't know if it's covering the original manga or if it's completely separate stories as like a side dish sort of thing. Hard to know. It's going to release on September 25th.
Okay.
All right. Ended manga. My Hero Animania. My Hero Academia manga has finished. They've released a final fan book artwork thing and a first art book, and an art exhibit is on in Japan.
It's time for anime. Sorry.
There's going to be a large large-scale art exhibit in summer 2025 to celebrate the completion of the decade-long series. The final volume will ship in December.
My God, it's been a decade.
Yeah, and weekly for a decade. Which it's incredible. The series is finished. The next anime series, I believe, will be the final series. It should be. They're that close to it now. There is another film coming called My Hero Academia, the movie You're Next, based on the third film and the second film. I don't know if it's worth going to see.
The last one was just...
Yeah, pretty bad. The last one was... and then they also had an OVA to, promote the card game as well. They're kind of going a little bit hard on the cross-promotion stuff. The stories aren't that great. Seventh season did kind of start off a little odd. They had 4 episodes recapping the previous seasons, which is fair. It's season 7. So, a lot's happened.
Some people would need a recap just to remember how we got here.
Yeah, so there's been 150-something episodes of the anime total, so...
Crikey.
Yeah, I know, right? It's done quite well.
I mean, okay, look, we just mentioned One Piece, but still, 150 is a good slog.
It's only 10%.
My God, it's such
there's a couple of mangas going on hiatus. Firstly, Dandadan has gone on a 1-month hiatus. That returns on September the 3rd. That is just preparing for the next sort of major story arc and to wrap up the current one. There's no mention of anything to do with health or concerns, so that's good to know. Maybe the artist is just taking a holiday, which is fair. They deserve time off.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, if you have a look at how often Made in Abyss release, they have released, the artist for that has only released 2 chapters in the past 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. I honestly don't.
He keeps going into retirement.
Not much happened the last 2 chapters either. It's like, well, this is the story. We're almost to the end of the story. Stop dragging it out. So Dan's on hiatus.
Think about the amount of animes and mangas, though, that just simply have not stuck the landing.
Yeah.
I can't blame a guy for wanting to really make sure he's got it right.
I don't know if that's what he's doing. I kind of feel like he's kind of faffing about.
I could also think that, a lot of places, like Shonen, for example, usually give them a time period specific.
They do.
And then they'll have to sometimes redo their story and make it longer and drag things out that they never wanted to. So I think I would prefer the alternative of 2 chapters a year if it meant that they were dragging out that contract to what they needed, if they knew what they wanted the end to be, so that when it's complete, it's a full story of what they actually want the story to be, and there aren't just random parts or filler in the manga.
Apparently the requirement that the author has is to release 1 volume per 12 months minimum. And previously they kind of did good. I know, right? They did 4 chapters the year before. And this year they're quite far behind, and everyone's like, "So we're just going to get a rush of 3 chapters?" Been sitting on it, waiting for it. Who knows? Anyway, there's also another manga on hiatus. We've mentioned this before. Makanai in the Maiko Lodge. This previously won a. I'm
not sure all those were words.
Best Shonen Manga Award at the Shogaku Manga Awards in 2020. This is So Makanai is the name of the girl. Oh. The Maiko Lodge is where all of the young geishas, Maikos, where they all stay. That had an anime recently, which was called Kyo in Kyoto from the Maiko House. It's quite cute. It is quite cute and wholesome.
Yeah, I do.
But not a lot happens in it.
I do remember seeing the trailer for that. We need to need to give that a look-see.
Yeah, it's set in Kyoto's Hanamachi Geisha Quarter, and here after geisha finish their work late at night, they spend the night resting at a lodge to prepare for the next day. The story centers on Kyo, an Aomori native who works as a cook in a geisha lodge in Kyoto. It's really coming down outside, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
If Tifa couldn't hear it, that's good. Then it means no one else can hear it. My Senpai is Annoying manga is ending as well with the 13th compiled book volume. I believe that will be... Yeah, I think that's done. I think it's ended now. Don't Toy with Miss Nagatoro has ended as well.
Oh, that one was a big one for you.
Yep.
So.
That ended about a week and a half ago, but there has since been another chapter, which is like a post-credit thing.
Okay.
It is adorable. It is the best possible end you could get. It's really sweet.
Harem end.
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't want the other ones in the harem, trust me.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, it was really well done, the ending, and like I wanted a little bit more, and this epilogue chapter gives you the extra ending. It's like the senpai is now at university in Tokyo, and he comes back for Nagatoro's birthday, and it's a surprise. The friends hide him in a big box and all that. It's really sweet. And then they discuss basically their future together and what they're planning, and it's the perfect way to end it. It's like you can see their future ahead. You can see what's kind of going to happen, and it's perfect. And it's also both of them, like Nagatoro, really come to terms with like declaring what she kind of wants, and him showing that he knows what she wants. So it's really quite sweet.
That sounds nice.
Another rom-com, Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable. That's ending in 2 chapters as of now. Literally as of today. That's news for today. So that's going to wrap up soon. That coincides with the 5th anniversary. It'll be chapter 118. So that'll be a wrap up there. Hopefully they have wrapped up all the story there, because I had heard some people complaining about it, but I quite enjoyed the anime series and the manga. From what I've read of it so far, I'm not up to date, but from what I've read of it so far, it's pretty good. So yeah, go figure.
Oh, we should probably finish up soon.
Yes, we do have one last thing. Game Informer magazine. Now, this is a bit out of the blue for us, but it's something that we've all kind of grown up with. So Game Informer magazine has ended its publication after 33 years. GameStop just basically shut it down.
Yeah, it wasn't really done with any kind of ceremony. They just killed it, and they killed all of its backlog. They removed the archive links.
They removed the website. They removed their Twitter, which had the Twitter literally had their goodbye message on it, and they took the whole thing down. Everyone's like,
no.
Why? What a waste.
Who makes these wretched decisions?
Yeah.
What absolute subhuman.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I understand that circulation has dropped, but you don't just delete like content. No. You don't do that. That's a terrible idea. They could have finished it, and then they could have went and from there kept it as an archive. And just put adverts on it.
Heck, they could have just transcribed it, like a bunch of their old videos, to a YouTube channel and made a bit of revenue off that still.
Yeah.
There are business-savvy decisions for salvaging something that no longer pays.
Yeah.
But even like just removing social media is like so silly, because it doesn't cost you anything to keep that account.
Exactly. It's just a ridiculous decision by pointless people.
Yeah, it also looks like...
A HR department did this.
Yeah,
let's be fair.
Let's be honest. Well, I mean, the other thing is the company's editor-in-chief and the founder of GameStop, he left the company. This is Andrew McNamara. He left the company in 2020. Then Andrew Rayner, who stepped down from the same position in 2020, and then Matt Miller was the editor-in-chief at the time of it ending publication. They terminated CEO Matthew Furlong's position in June 2023. So whoever has come in has just went, I'm cutting everything. They're probably not a person who understands the game industry or the content industry.
Probably not a person, let's be fair.
Yeah. It did lose... The sales declined 10% in the first quarter of 2023. A decline of 16% in the US, from 995 million to 832 million year on year. But that is also the whole business. It's not just the manga, the magazine. Yeah. It's the whole lot. So I don't know what's going on, but they've been closing stores worldwide, and for those in Australia, that's EB Games as well, GameStop Canada, or EB Games New Zealand as well. Like, they're all over the place, and they're all having trouble. So maybe if they, actually focused on selling things gamers. Wait, don't touch. Take your hand off.
Sorry.
Can you stop playing with microphone? We need to find your fidget toy.
Where did it go?
It's in a drawer. I didn't get it out. I forgot about it.
I am to blame as well. Neither of us are awake. This is the Red Bull is keeping us up.
Yeah.
And soon this soy sauce.
Kumo is playing with Kenny's keychain on the floor. Not Kumo, Liger. The cat. Yeah, he's like, I do need that. Please don't. Anyway, that's another bit of the news, which is sad. But I think before we lose our marbles altogether, it's time to wrap up.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
So that is where we're going to leave things for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, we duel.
Wait, really?
No.
Gosh darn it.
Darn. We actually haven't got the next episode planned. We've got the one after it planned, which I believe is the Zoid's 25th anniversary.
Girls und Panzers.
Girls und Panzers?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I've been meaning to watch it for ages. Let's get...
Tifa, have you watched Girls and Panzer?
No, I have not. It
Like,
is
it's
actually
about-
on my list too, though.
Oh, okay.
It is about the small girls und they drive the tanks and they shoot the tanks.
Okay. All right, look. It's decided. Girls and Panzers.
Yes!
Okay.
We're going to have to find out where we can watch it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just wrote Grills and Panzers, and I'm like, that's not right.
I don't know. Can this be a side series? Let's do barbecues and tanks.
Barbecues
And
and
then we
tanks.
get the tanks and we shoot the barbecues.
You've been doing too much High German research.
Yeah.
Ja. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein, sprechen Sie Deutsch.
I'm going to wash it down with this soy sauce. Shit.
Oh, no. No, Kenny, stop drinking the soy sauce. That's disgusting. Now, he's died. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Join us for future episodes. I don't know why you would. We're awful.
Incorrect. We are just differently good.
Okay, cool.
Differently good. Cool.
Differently good. Fiercely independent. Fiercely weird.
Yeah.
Now, if you are listening on YouTube, hit the like button. Let us know your thoughts on what we've been chatting about. If you aren't subscribed, hit that big red shiny button. Behind it is some soy sauce that Kenny has very generously. Oh, you drank it all. I'm sorry.
No, we have a whole bowl of the stuff at work.
Oh, you want the whole? You've got the whole bottle, so you can wear it down and fill it with cola and freak people out, haven't you?
How do you know these things about me?
Because I remember you asking everyone if they had an empty bottle from soy sauce. So.
Yeah, and nobody did, so I had to take matters into my own claws.
Okay. Anyway, as previously mentioned, if you do want to support us, we do have a Patreon. Big thanks to our members, as always. If you'd like to support the channel, get access to extra episodes, the pre-show, which is comes along with every episode.
On the pre-show, we're allowed to say the naughty word.
On the pre-show, we kind of went a little bit off on a tangent. What did we talk about? Life.
The universe.
Everything.
Yeah.
The number 42. Yeah. Answers to your financial conundrums, by which we mean, don't buy an expensive keyboard, unless you've tested it.
I said the bad no word.
You really did, and I'm actually going to censor that because it's that bad of a
What?
word.
Really?
You don't just go and drop that type of bomb.
Can you make it a quack sound? Like the beat, make it a quack so it's a quack.
I'm going to make it a quack.
You don't just drop a bomb like that. You drop the two of them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Now, memberships start from $1 a month. You can follow us for access to major show updates. There's the pre-show audio and video edition, depending on what level you're on.
And all the money goes to a good cause. It's hard to get along in this world, and your money pays for Red Bull.
Well, at the moment, we haven't spent a cent of our Patreon money. It's sitting there in a fund.
Oh, right.
So it's sitting there for when we do actually need it. And all of that money does go towards things like website renewals and stuff like that, domain stuff, paying for that when we get it all rolling. I do need to do that. I keep saying that. I've been saying for 2 years I need to set up a website. I should just bite the bullet and make a Squarespace page.
Yeah.
This product is brought to you by Squarespace, by the way.
No, it's not. But look, Squarespace, if you're listening, I'll use your product if you give me a discount code.
Square Shadow Legends.
Actually, we're sponsored by Liger the cat, the podcast cat. Hi, Liger. Hey, buddy. Hi. He wants food,
Like,
and you
looks
can.
so confused.
No, that's his grumpy feed me now. Oh, but slow blinks. Hi, buddy.
Liger is a very special baby.
I did yell at him in the pre-show, but that's because he was doing karaoke in the bathroom and He loves it. He goes in and he sits there and he yowls and then he goes, echo.
Special baby.
So, as always, if you haven't already, follow us on socials. We're on the things. This is the last year we'll be using Twitter because we don't get any engagement on it. So head to our
I don't think
others.
it's even called that anymore, which is dumb.
It's X Twitter.
X gonna give it to you.
If it's racism and being, marginalized, then X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you.
Anyway, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Discord, main places you can find us. Twitter for now. Also, our YouTube channel, we do post updates there as well. So, yeah. But that's it. So, you've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time,
what's some anime?
Everyone should do their best meow into the microphone.
Meow.